Assalamu alaikum Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, it's me, uh, my channel Reading Stars, and me, part 2. So, today I really saw a quote that literally reminded me of my father, whose soul is now not there in this world. Inshallah, I'll be sharing it with you. And first of all, today is a special day, and it is his birthday, and I will tell you what happened during his death, and I'll share the quote too. So first, we'll move on to the quote. So, a person asked a scholar, "What is sabr?" The scholar replied, when you crush a rose, the rose still gives you the fragrance that is known as sabr. Subhanallah, what a nice quote. When you read it properly, you can know. Okay, when you crush a rose, the rose still gives you fragrance, and that is known as sabr. So when you try to anger someone, but that person will give you goodness or doesn't give you anything, it is silent, that is known as sabr. Yeah, you can understand, right? So now I have seen my best example, that is my father. MashaAllah, I don't know how, but others call me, I have sabr, but I don't have as much as sabr as my father does. So everyone says I am an female form of my father. MashaAllah, he died on Eid al-Fitr, and now I'll tell how he passed away. So he passed away on Eid al-Fitr, MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah. So I had a bath and played with my cousins all morning. So while that my father was sitting in the my father was sitting in that in the bed, pressing his chest, and my mother asked what happened. So my father told that he had chest pain, and maybe it was acidity, you know. So he went to the hospital because he doesn't have regularly like that. So doctor also imagine like that, not imagine, like told like that you have acidity, and doctor gave him some medicines. And I forgot to add one point over here. While after going to the doctor, my mother saw my father shaking his hands. So my mother asked, "What happened? Why is your hand shaking?" He said he has a, what do you say? The finger has a, in Malayalam we say tarippu. I think so, tarippu. So, she said, "Did you tell it to the doctor?" So he said, "No, I didn't tell. I didn't tell." So my mother scolded him for not telling him, for not telling the doctor. So after some time, he also went to bath and took wudu and was going to pray. That was the time when my father came inside. My sister came inside the room and asked him to come and eat. So my sister is telling, ah, my father told, "No, I actually I will come after praying. You go there and eat first." So first the kids ate, and then we came up to play after eating. So that time, my mother came upstairs, opened the door, and saw my father unconscious on the prayer mat. I just literally saw with my own eyes, like opening the door, my father unconscious, and my mother screamed a lot, like cried and screamed. So my grandmother hurried upstairs, and aunt also came upstairs, and she called the ambulance and the neighbors around. So they took him to the hospital. So my grandmother and mother went with him, went with the ambulance. So that time, me, my cousins, and my aunt stayed at home. That time, uh, so we got the news that we waited and we prayed a lot to get my father alive. My mind was saying, my heart was beating so much. So I prayed a lot to get my father alive. We got the news that he was still alive, but his eyes were not opened yet. So I just got relieved, and my cousins and my sister went outside to just calm a little bit more. So after some time, we calmed a little bit, and then we went inside, and I saw my aunt crying in the stairs. So I asked my aunt, "What happened? What happened?" So she said that your father has serious problems. But that didn't make me sad, because I was still thinking like he's alive, right? He's alive, right? So then we came upstairs, and my cousin sister asked me, "Why don't you ask what is really happening? I don't think what is that is what is really happening. You go ask." Because I was the eldest, so aunt can tell me everything. But I said no, I can't. Because I was scared in that situation, and also shy. And I know why should I be shy in this situation? Then my sister bravely told, "No, I will go and ask what is really happening." And she went downstairs. She just saw some furniture moving, and some of the relatives came, already came, yeah. And then she understood that my father, uh, she understood and screamed that our father is dead, our father passed away. That broke my heart, and I went there in the sofa crying. After some time, my mother and grandmother came. They were broken into tears. They can't even stand. Everyone was like holding them. That also broke my heart. After some time, my father came. Funeral was there. That time is the time I kissed and seen him for the last time. It was a very hard time for me, very sad time. But Alhamdulillah, when I remember about it, I'm thinking that he escaped. MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, he escaped from this life. Uh, Allah has seen something that is objecting our life. We were about to go to Saudi Arabia, but I think Allah's seen something, so He just cut off that path by doing something. So I think that was the story of my father. So yeah, that was the last time. Inshallah, he will be in Jannah, in Jannatul Firdaus, inshallah, because he died on Eid al-Fitr and in namaz. MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, I wished to have that, to have that death. No one could be so lucky to have it. When I said to others, they were like, oh my god, no one would be so lucky to have that death. I was like wondering if did my father see did my father see the angel? Don't know what happened, don't know. So now I'm concluding. So this video was about him, and hope you understand. Hope you include us, my father, and my family into your duas. Um, inshallah. With that, I will. So Sabar was his thing, was his main character. When I asked my mom what is his favorite, what is your good compliment about him? She said, Sabar. No doubt of that, Sabar. So, with that, I will conclude my video. Inshallah, Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bye bye. See you next week.